You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty kitty, you the wrong, get enough to drink with a drop cup. Hey.
I'm going to share with you 4 ways that you can level up right now. 4 ways to level up that will change your life for the better. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Malaysia, and this channel is here to help women to create their best life and to become their best self. So if you're on a journey of creating your best life and becoming your best self, or you want to start your journey of becoming your best self and creating your best life, then subscribe to join my magical side of YouTube, and let's just get into magic. So the first way that you can level up your life to change it for the better is financially. This is an obvious one, but for some it's not. If you feel like you're not making enough money, look into all the many ways that you can make more money. There are so many ways in this day and age to make money that are not normalized, that can become your normal. And I think it's because of certain things not being a normality that not many explore certain things. But if someone else can do it, if you see someone else doing it, you can too, even if it's not normal. I honestly feel like you'll have a better chance at doing it, being that it's not normal. You have more room to thrive. And if you feel like you're not talented or you don't have enough skills to earn more streams of income, most times it's not the skills and talents that brings in another stream of income. It's consistency. Consistently working towards something, you will develop the skills you need to thrive. You can develop talent. You can actually learn a new skill and become an expert through enough consistency and studying and practicing. If you already have a business, you can study sales to learn how to get more sales in your business to make more money. You can take time to improve upon the talents you already have and learn how to monetize them. You can literally buy from wholesalers and sell products for 3 times the price, which is what a lot of businesses do, and bring in cash flow just by being a middleman. There are teenagers that do this. If teenagers can take something wholesale and resell it themselves, then you can too. But I need you to throw away the limiting belief of that's not realistic out of your head. It doesn't have to be realistic. It becomes realistic by doing the work consistently to make it real. Having an idea and throwing it completely in the trash because you feel like it's unrealistic gets you nowhere. If it's real for someone else somewhere, then you can do the work to make it real for yourself. You can do the work to make it real in your reality. Sometimes the closest people to you will look at you sideways for doing something that's unrealistic. Again, to make something realistic, you have to consistently put in the work to make it real. That is the difference between a wish and a goal. And for some people, a lot of the things that they want to do are wishes because they don't believe in themselves to do the consistent work to make it possible. Don't let those type of people keep you from making it possible for yourself. You may just inspire them to do it too once you've got it done. And I'm not going to lie, it may take some time, but through putting in the effort consistently towards making more streams of income, long term, you will have more money than the average person. And I just have to emphasize that because there are some streams of income that will give you instant gratification. And then there are some that take time, but that doesn't disregard the work that you're putting in to get that money through the work that you're doing. It takes a lot of faith in the unknown, and not many people have it. So it's gonna make you stand out. You are going to look like Dobie the Clown. Be okay looking like Dobie the Clown because Dobie the Clown is gonna come back to town with rounds and rounds of cash flow. Whatever you choose, I advise trying to find something that aligns with you, because if it doesn't, having more money will not keep you from being miserable. If what you're doing daily to earn more cash flow isn't aligned with what you enjoy doing or who you are, long term it could actually do more bad than good on your mental health and on your physical health if you're not fully taking that into consideration. Hold on, the sun is like making this a shadow. Filming in nature. Another way that you can level up your life is physically. It's not even just about glowing up and looking hotter. It's also about your health. If you do not move your body daily, over time, it will tax on you. Long term, you will develop physical complications a lot easier than someone who is exercising their body daily. I'm not saying force feed yourself into the gym and force yourself to do weights and force yourself to do this and you got to do that, you got to do jumping jacks, you know. Find what works best for you. Like just by stretching, just by taking a walk, just by taking the stairs instead of the elevator can make a major difference on your body long term. And moving your body doesn't just help with your physical health, but it also helps with your mental health, because when you're exercising daily or just moving your body daily, your body releases chemicals called endorphins, which is why some people love working out at the beginning of their day. So they have that extra boost.
Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands.
The truth is, none of us want to exercise. It's not fun for most of us, but there's ways to make it fun by finding your preferred way to move your body. I personally prefer Zumba classes and workout classes. A part of who you are, what you believe, what you fear, what you prioritize, and what you desire stems from the way that you were raised, stems from the way that you were conditioned and indoctrinated. My favorite way to level up mentally is educating myself on how I can develop a better mindset around things to get me more of what I want in life, because there's no way you're going to do that with a negative mindset all the time. Like, yeah, we all think negatively here and there, we're human, but if majority of the time you're thinking negatively, you don't believe in yourself, you care too much about what other people think, you let little things ruin your day, that isn't gonna take you far. A fun way that I like to educate myself is through books created by people who made it to where I want to be, with people who have done the kind of things that I want to do in my life. When you can take the time to learn other perspectives, yours will eventually change, and through changing your perspective, you can see the things that you weren't seeing when you were looking through a different lens. Some of us have lenses that make it impossible for us to see the greatness that's within ourselves. And through reading certain books, you can develop that. Certain books will not only inspire you to believe in yourself, but some books will even teach you exactly what you need to do to make your wishes into goals and how to accomplish those goals. And if you're not a reader, there are many other ways to work on yourself mentally. There's tons of free videos and resources available on the internet to help stretch your mindset, so you can have the courage to welcome in new things into your life that you've always wanted. And of course, you can also invest in all of these different areas that I'm sharing with you on how to level up to expedite the pace of how fast you level up. Mentally, I highly suggest looking into investing in a therapist or a life coach if you're needing that advanced help with leveling up in life, if you want someone to walk you step by step so you don't have to figure it out on your own. I personally invested in a business coach. I've invested in a fitness trainer. I personally have always been kind of obsessed with self-development and the brain and how to level up and stuff. So I've been kind of like my own life coach throughout it all, which doesn't surprise me to how I ended up becoming a life coach. So I highly recommend looking into it. I wouldn't be where I am today without a little bit of help and investing in myself to get here. Another way that you can level up in life is spiritually. Connect with your soul. Your soul was something you were before you came out of the womb. Your soul is who you were, who you are before you were conditioned and indoctrinated to feel bad for who you are and what you want. Connect with your intuition. Listen to what you truly feel called to do and explore. Develop your own relationship with God or Gaia, Mother Earth, whoever you worship, in whatever way that aligns with you. There will be people who try to tell you how you're supposed to worship God and how you're supposed to live your own life, but it's not their job to tell you, nor their concern. In the beginning of Matthew chapter 7 says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be measured to you." Dang it, the wind is blowing the Bible pages. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. I find it crazy how so many people try to force feed their own beliefs and their own ways of doing things onto other people who are completely different than them. Like, I get we're all people, but we all have different preferences. We all have different callings. We all have our own right to decide the way that we want to live our life. And I highly recommend exploring that. Everything isn't for everyone. And it's no one's job to judge what's for you because it's not for them. History shows that masses of people were murdered for having different beliefs and forms of worship. Let's learn from history and not allow it to repeat itself. I'm kind of hesitant to say this, but I'm going to say it because I know there's other people who probably feel this way too, but haven't said it or just align with this. But I don't believe that our forgiving God would burn us in hell for eternity, forever, for not living life correctly. Why do we have a choice in the way that we live our lives if he did not want us to have the freedom to choose? But growing up, that's what I was taught. And I'm not knocking whoever believes in that. I personally just don't, because through believing in that, it really limited me. Through that belief, I was scared of everything. I was too scared to question things, too scared to critically think, too scared to disagree, too scared to stand out, too scared to say no. It fueled my nice girl syndrome and made life for me less enjoyable. Again, this is my experience, and I know not everyone's gonna relate or agree to it. It was through creating a personal connection with God, listening to what my inner voice tells me, that I learned that there was a misalignment with the beliefs that I was being force-fed to believe. Although some people align with the belief of God sending you to a fiery pit of flames forever for making mistakes and living life incorrectly, I don't, and that's okay. It's okay to not believe what the majority believe. That is our God-given right. It's okay to choose to do what's best for you, even if other people don't understand it, because everything is not for everyone.
This experiment was set up like this. They had 8 people in a room. 7 of the people are actors, and 1 person out of these 8 is the subject of the experiment. They described it as a vision test or a perception test, and they had a line by itself, and then there was 3 lines separated from it, but near it, and they were of different lengths, and they were numbered 1, 2, and 3, and you'd look at the line that was by itself, and the question was, which of the other 3 lines is the same size as the line that's by itself? So it's a real simple, straightforward test. And then they go left to right. All right, what do you think? And it's an actor. And what do you think? It's an actor. All the actors answer first, and then they have the actual subject of the experiment. So sometimes the actors would all give the wrong answer. And when they did that, guess what happened? When the correct answer is, line number 2, and all the actors go, line number 3, line number 3, line number 3, line number 3. They'd get to the subject, and the subject would go, yep, line number 3. 35% of the time, he would just get influenced. When the actors gave the correct answer, there was only 1%. It was actually less than 1% deviation. Less than 1% deviation. So 75% of the subjects conformed at least one time. So almost everybody that went in there, 75%, at least one time conformed. And here's another point on this. When they ran the same experiment, but they would have 1 of the actors out of the 7 give the correct answer, that was enough to drop the percentage down to only 5% instead of 35% of conformity. So they get done with the experiment. They did some interviews with the people, and said, well, what were you thinking? Why did you say this? So there was 2 prominent answers. The first one, I just want to be normal. And if there's a bunch of people that are saying something like, I don't want to stand out, that was most of it. Some of it was also, it's a little bit of self-doubt. If Echo and Daryl are both saying that's they're probably right. So they're just like, my depth perception's never been that great or whatever. My eyes have never been that great. There's a reason that I wanted to bring it up. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because we have to look out for our own tendency to conform. Where we're like, wait a second, I'm just going with the flow here. And we have to look out for other people's tendency to conform. We have a tendency to conform. It's in this situation kind of proves it. When they put 1 actor that gave the right answer and that dropped it down to 5%, I just wanted to bring it up that one person can stop something bad from happening. And whether it's something bad, some kind of atrocity, that's an extreme, but you can even be at a company, in a business, and you start seeing a bad idea and people are just kind of on board with it. Hey, I guess that's where we're going. And all it takes is for someone to say, hey, wait a second, why are we doing this? What's going on here? To stop the groupthink, to stop the conformity if it's going in the wrong direction.
Matthew chapter 24 verse 11 says, "And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved." Something that I want to say is the Bible has been interpreted in so many different ways. I've literally accidentally joined a cult because they took the words of the Bible and interpreted it to fit their own beliefs and propaganda. The Bible can be interpreted in so many ways. So critically think with what aligns with you. Critically think and ask yourself, does this help me? Or does this hold me back? These scriptures that I'm using to back what I'm saying, maybe that's not what it means. Maybe it's not literal. We really don't know, which is why it's important to also develop your inner knowing, because your inner knowing will guide you a lot more than anyone can. It is okay if other people have different beliefs than you. True Christ consciousness is unconditional love, not conditional love. So to summarize, a few ways that you can level up your life is financially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I'm sure there's other ways. Let me know if I missed a major way to level up in a comment, and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. And the reason why I felt called to share these 4 ways to level up is because through taking the time to level up your life in these areas, it can change tremendously. Not just your life, but yourself. Consistently doing the work to level up your life makes your life easier long term. So I highly recommend it, and I will see you in the next video. video. Also, if you haven't watched my video on how being single is the best time to level up, I will pin that at the top of the comments for you to watch. If you're single and you're ready to take that time and to, instead of mingle, to become a different Pringle.